you can use cases.2023. Please, are we together? Are we together? So you can make use of that for your variable name. And just like what I told you yesterday, um, you know, when I added two numbers together, I told you that you can say 5 times the particular variable name, isn't it? And it will also output a given the given result. So just like we can also see here, we have the population equals to 200,000. The cases in 2023 equals to 4,800. We can get the prevalence, maybe the prevalence per 100 population. We can get that uh, I mean the incidence rate per uh, 100 population, depending 1,000 population. I can also get the prevalence too as percentage, just like we have in this situation. So if you type population equals to 200,000, please, are you doing that already? So I'm staying longer here so that I'm expecting you to be typing and trying it out. Please, are we together? That's what I'm expecting you to do. You can see it now. Is it better now? All right. So we have the population of 20,000, all of that. Then the prevalence equals to cases in 2023 divided by the total population, then times 100, and that will give you the prevalence. And just like I told you yesterday, you can use round to control the decimal places, isn't it? Right? Okay. So if I have round prevalence, comma 2, what does that mean? So how many decimal places? So how many decimal places? 2 decimal places. So now, please, let us also take note of this. This function cat, it can be used when you want to print text and values together in the console. Yes, I'm going to take that again. This function cat, are we there? You can use it to print both text and values together in the console. And that's what you are seeing here. You can see cat, malaria prevalence, as though a statement you are trying to write. This is a custom statement. You are the one writing this by yourself. Are we together? Then comma, the results of this division, what you have here, then percentage. This one here represents next line. So now, if I should run, let me just copy this. I hope I'm not copying beyond the. So if I should run this, for instance, I want us to see it together. So you can see these ones are just comments, all right, to give us information about what we are doing here. So I'm going to run this. I run the prevalence. So you can see here that you can see malaria prevalence is equal to what? Can we see it? Is equal to what? 2.4%. Adibin I've just used print, maybe round all of this. All right, this just give me 2.4. Are you getting it now? Just simply 2.4. But when you want to add your own custom statement to the output, are you getting it now? You can make use of the cat. The cat both take the object value and also text. The text are like characters. So you can make use of the cat to combine them together and then to have your output. Are we together? Please, are we there? Let's check. If we use print, will it work? Do you see that? If you use print, will it work? Are we there? But if you use cat, what happens? Are you getting it now? So the print the object value itself, but when you make use of the cat, you can both combine text and also um, the object value itself. Please, are we there? Any questions so far? Can I continue? People are not responding. Can I continue? If you're not talking, I won't know where you are. Am I running too fast? What? What did you say, man? Right? Yeah. Now, one thing is actually, well, I would have just given us this material to copy and paste, right? But sometimes it may not really help. Sometimes when you are it's hands-on. When you are typing, uh, there's a way it connects with understanding, right? I can relax a little. So please, maybe I should just quickly state it here as I'll be walking through this particular slide. Okay, anything you see me scroll to, all right, maybe as a kind of coding example, what I'm expecting you to do as I'm explaining is that you also type it to try it out. You listen to the explanation, you try it out. That's why I'll be pausing for a while on each of the coding example. Please, are we clear with that now? It's all right. Can I continue now? So how many of us have been able to print out the results? So please, you may not need to type all of these, cat, print out these, round controls, all of these. You may not you may not just do that. Those are just for explanation's sake. All right. You can use your own comments on that, just the way you understand it. Okay. We have a lot of things to cover. That's why I'm rushing there this afternoon. We have a lot to cover actually. These are still simple uh, um, just to try. We have done this yesterday, as far as I'm concerned. These are just a kind of more example on what we have done yesterday. Yesterday we assigned values to variable names, isn't it? We did division, isn't it? That's exactly what I'm just doing here. So nothing new entirely, right? Can I continue now? It's okay. All right. So now the next one we want to look at is the R core building block, and this is where the journey actually begins. We've exercised ourselves. All that we have done since the beginning of this class has been more warm up exercise. Are we together? So this is where we are really beginning the R. And the particular object we are considering, first of all, is the R vector. R vector. And please, it's very, very important for us to understand vector. Clarity on vector makes every other object in R very simple. Please, are we following? So please, um, let's pay attention at this particular time. So what is a vector? A vector is an ordered sequence of value, all of the same type, either all numbers or all text. Almost everything in R is built on vectors. Can you hear that? Almost everything. That's why I said when you understand clearly the R vector to understand the other objects in R. So, and how do you define a vector? How do you create a vector? One, you use this C symbol, the C and the parentheses. Can we see that? It's a small c, small c. Are we there? The small c, and it stands for combine or concatenate. This is what you use to create a vector. Are we together? So let's take, for instance, now, if I want to create, maybe the first 5 or the first 7 prime numbers, let me say prime, okay? And I want to create that as a vector. So as you can see, I have my C and the parentheses. So the first prime number is 2, followed by 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. That is 6 now. Then we have 17, right? So here I have the first 7 prime numbers within this vector called prime. Are we together? So if I should run this now, I'm just going to save that to the variable name prime. I should still increase it. Do I increase the, can you see the way it is on my own laptop now? Are you seeing the issue? Is it better now? Is it better now? To you, it is very fine, but to me, not fine. But I will manage it like that. I will manage it like that. Uh, your satisfaction is our priority, right? Are we good to go now? All right. So, um, sorry, let me just close this one. All right. So we have this guy, my this guy here on. Not seeing anything here. Okay. All right. So, like I said, sorry. So, like I said, so I've just created a vector of prime numbers, the first 7 prime numbers. Are we together? For instance, now if I want to create fruit vector, okay, remember the vector can either be all text or all number. So if I have um, maybe fruit vector, let me say fruit vec, okay, I have mango. Are we there? I have, give me another fruit, apple. Somebody said pineapple, the pineapple, strawberry. By the responses, you will know the fruit that seems to be the favorite of the individuals mentioning them. Strawberry, right? Somebody say shower sharp. What did I hear now? Sharp. Shower sharp. This one. Okay, SOP. Oh, let's leave it like this, please. Sub sharp. Now, so now, if we run this, people should not confuse me. Shower sharp, shower anyone. So the most important thing we want to get here is you could see how we have created vectors, isn't it? And um, you can also just run it to see the output. So another way to run is you can highlight after you have run the line of codes, you can just highlight the variable name, press Ctrl Enter or run. It will give you whatever it is stored or whatever is assigned to that variable name. Are we together? So that's another way to just get the output of what we have. And those are the things we are seeing here. But now let's go a bit more practical since we are working on modeling of infectious diseases and all of that. Are we together? So let's take, for instance, now we are looking at cases of malaria. Maybe somebody says yes. Okay, yes, because we've just created vectors. we've just created two vectors. To create a vector, you use the C. The C represents combine or concatenate. Are we there? That is the built-in way to define vector in R. Are we together? It's okay. You will remember that, for instance, now under Python, you have list, you have dictionary, you have set, isn't it? You have tuple. Is that correct? And they have ways by which they can also be created, isn't it? I think tuple is just parentheses, set is the curly bracket, isn't it? And all of that. So, but for R, to create a vector, we have the C and the parentheses. Are we clear with that now? All right, can I continue? So let's take, for instance, now that we are looking at the total malaria cases within a particular year. Let's say cases malaria 2023 for maybe 5 states in Nigeria. 5 states in Nigeria, the annual cases of malaria, all right, across 5 states in Nigeria. Let us get those total cases first. Let's say the first one is 12,453. Are we there? The second one is 1,001, followed by 34,987, followed by 12,001. Then the fifth one, 9,876. All right, so I'm going to run this now. So I have the cases of malaria across 5 states in Nigeria in year 2023. Are we together? So then I want to know the particular states. Let me say NG state, representing Nigeria states. Nigeria states that corresponds to this particular number of cases. Let's say the 12,453 is from Ogun State, and the one for the 1,001, let's say it is from Lagos State, and the one for the 34987, which state should we assign to that? Ondo. Somebody say Ondo. By that answer, you will know the state they are from. Yes. Ekiti. That person must be from Ekiti. Somebody from Nasarawa have just spoken. All right. Nasarawa. Is it correct? All right. So, so here, okay, Nasarawa. Singular. Nasarawa. You know, it is not your state, so it's just like when I went to serve in Zamfara. When I got to know that Gusau, I was asked, I said, there's a place called Gusau in Nigeria. But what is the state? Me and my friend, we said Nasarawa Gusau. Core members only revise their state and capital when they are to go for NYSC. That's the issue. I was telling somebody yesterday, was it no on Sunday, that I serve in Zamfara. He said Zamfara. He said, what's the state capital? I said Gusau. Are we there? All right, so what we have just done here now is we have created two vectors specifically in relation to diseases. So the first one represents cases of malaria in 2023. So the other one represents Nigerian states that have that particular case. So with this, you have just created two vectors. So this is just simply how to create vectors. But there are times that you want to know, maybe you have a given vector, you want to know what is the length of this given vector. What that length represents is how many elements do you have within this vector? Please, are we together? How many elements do you have within this particular vector? So let's say length of a vector. So to get the length of the vector, you use the keyword length. Can we see that? Use the keyword length. I want to find the length of this vector. Let me say Nigerian states. So I have NG states. So if I should run this now, what is the output? What's the output? 5, telling me that I have 5 elements within this particular vector. Please, are we following? What exactly can you not see? Oh, I've covered the length. You see the issue now? Where I will continue to manage. Okay, maybe let me just do it this way. So this way. Are we fine now? Right? Can we see the length of Nigerian state? So it's giving us how many elements do we have within that vector? And what do you have in your own results? 5. Are we together? So we have 5. And another thing again is sometimes you want to assess uh, or maybe you want to get subsets of a vector. So please let's pay attention. So before we talk about subset of a vector, I'm going to teach us first indexing. Now, the indexing just has to do with, now in that vector, I don't know, in Python, you must have been seeing indexing. Indexing in Python starts from 0. Are we together? Meaning the first element is 0, the second element is 1, right? But in Python, indexing begins with 1. I mean, in R rather, thank you. In R, indexing starts from 1. Are we following now? All right. So let's take, for instance, now, maybe for the Nigerian state, I want to know what is the first state. Remember, we have assigned those states to NG states, isn't it? So that just, you open the braces, and then if you should run this now, you will see that, can you see Ogun? Telling you that the state with the index number 1 is Ogun State. Are we following? Are we there? Let's take, for instance, to just try that, all right? So let's take, for instance, I want to know the element, maybe the second, fourth, and fifth element, for instance, the second, fourth, and fifth element in Nigerian states, for instance. If that is my interest, I just come here and say Nigerian states. Then, because, now pay attention, because what I, how many elements am I looking for now? I'm looking at the second, fourth, and fifth, isn't it? So to do the indexing, we need to create a vector inside these braces. And the vector will be C into, the second will be 2, is that correct? 4, and what? And 5. So if I should run this now, I'm going to have Lagos, Ekiti, and Nasarawa. Can we see that? Because I needed to get the second, fourth, and fifth. So I will need to create a vector to achieve that. Are we there? All right. But let's assume I want to get the first 3, the first 4. Why I can go this route, I can also use another means, which is like the sequence means. I have NG state. Let's say I want to get the first 3 states, for instance. All right. I have NG states. Then I'll do 1 colon, which is the full colon. This one means 1 to 3. Actually, that 1 to 3 itself is a vector because it's just a short form of sequence. Are we there? So if I should run this now, it's going to give me the first 3 states. So if I run this now, I have the first 3 states, which are Ogun, Lagos, and Ondo. Are we together? Are we following? Can I continue? Are we on the same page? I only need a no to continue. Are we on the same page? I need just one no to continue. Are we on the same page? So thank you. I've gotten the no. Let's continue. All right. So please, if you have questions, you can just signify by asking. You can interrupt me as I'm explaining. Don't let me finish before. All right. Interrupt me when you have a question. All right. Yes. So if you need help, just also raise your hand. People are also around to assist you. Okay. All right. So now let's move on. So I've just explained all of this. Okay. So now we have other functions like the sequence SEQ. Please, are we together? We have other function like SEQ. This one you use it to generate a regular sequence. Are we there? Just like arithmetic progression, if you still remember, AP, right? Where you have the first term, you have a kind of common difference, isn't it? So you can use this sequence to create this sec, which is SEQ function, to create a sequence. Let's say, for instance, you want to create a uh, sequence of number from 1 to 10 with common difference of 2. We have sequence of number from 1 to 10, difference of 2. Are we there? 1 to 10, difference of 2. If I should run this now, it's going to give me 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Why? Because to the first element, which is 1, it continues to have 2. 2 plus 1, you have 3, isn't it? The next element, 2 plus 3, I have 5. Plus 2 again, I have 7. Plus 2, I have 9. Plus 2 is 11, which is more than 10, isn't it? So it's going to stop at 9 because 10 is not inclusive in that particular sequence. Can I take that again? I want to create a sequence between 1 to 10, all right, with a common difference of 2. Are we there? So I have sequence 1 to 10. But what should be the step length? 2. So if I begin with 1 and I add 2 to 1, what do I have? Add 2 to it, add 2 again, add 2 again, add 2 again. Is that not beyond 10? It's beyond 10. So because in that sequence, 10 is not inclusive. And we have already said it should be between 1 to 10. Are we there? So it stops at 9 based on the step length you have defined. So 10 will not be inclusive because in that sequence, 10 is not meant to appear. Please, are we together now? But let's say, for instance, now, if I do something like maybe 0 to 10, are we there? And I say run, you will see now that 10 is inclusive, isn't it? Why? Because I'm running a sequence from 0 to 10 with a step length of 2 or with a common difference of 2. And as I continue to add, because 10 is inclusive, 10 also comes up. But in the former, all right, 10 is not inclusive in that sequence. So it stops at 9. Please, are we together now? So this just how to create sequence. Let's take, for instance, now, maybe you are working with a data and the data spans, let's say, 120 months. Please, are we following? The data spans 120 months. And you want to create the object time. So I can say here now, time, maybe for your simulation, I have time. So I want to, instead of writing maybe C into 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 120. I don't need to go through all of this. Up to 120, I don't need to go through this. I can just use the sequence. I will use sec. Let's say I'm beginning from 1 to 120, difference of 1. Just like this, give you difference of 1. Sec 1 to 120. So if I should run time, for instance, you will see that here we have the number 1 to 120. Can you see it? Can we see it? So I've just created sequence of time point 1 to 120. Are we following? $120 time points. Are we there? Can I continue? It's all right. Are we on the same page now? If you are not on the same page, just signifies that you can be assisted. I want us to always be on the same page so that we can move very fast. We have less than 20 minutes to go. Are we there? Okay, let's continue. All right, so now there are built-in constants. So we'll be doing some things now. So there are built-in. So for this one, I'm not going to waste so much time on this one because at least why this is not what I've explained, but I've explained something similar, isn't it? So for instance, now if you want to create vector on rainfall, temperature, fruit, age of people, height of individuals, you can easily do that using vector, isn't it? So that's that about that. So now, but let's look at this built-in constant. This built-in constant is month abbreviation. Please, are we together? Month abbreviation. Now, I want you to find out about this month abbreviation. Go to your console and find out more about this month abbreviation. That is month.app. Don't type this one, just only this. I want you to find out to get information about it from your console. I want to get information about that from your console, from the HAG documentation. This month.abb, month abbreviation. I want you to get information about it from your HAG console, from the HAG documentation. How many people have done that? So what did you see? Can you read out what you see? Eh? No, that's not what I'm expecting you to tell me. All right. So that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting you to do question mark month.abb. Are we there? So let's assume you are seeing this for the first time and you don't know what does this one represent. Please, are we following? So I want you, because this is a practical session, I want you to also be using what you have learned in the course of the hands-on. Please, are we following? So just like you said, so if you bring this in, let's say month, you run it and you have month, you have January to December, isn't it? Isn't it? All right, so now, please let's pay attention to this because I want to give us a simple exercise. You will notice that on the R console, can you see this number 1 and number 9? Can you see number 1 and number 9? Can you see that? What that 1 and 9 by the side? It all depends. It may be different on your own system. Are we there? Your own may be 1 and something else. You know, our screen differs. Are we there? But you can see 1 and 9 on my own screen. Can we see that? Now, what this one actually means is that the output is a vector. Are we following? So this 1 and 9 represent the index number. So this one corresponds to January. This 9 here corresponds to September. Are we there? Telling you that January has the index of 1, then other follow 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You will now see September has the index of what? Of 9, 10, 11, 12. Isn't it? Now, what I want you to do is this. We have already assigned month to month.abb, which is month abbreviation, isn't it? Now, I want you to print the first 5 months using the variable name months. I want you to print out the first 5 months using the variable name month. I've just told you the month.abb, the output is telling us that it is a vector. And that vector, we have assigned this to month. So can you print out the first 5 months? Print out the first 5 months. How many people have done that? I've seen 3 hands. The first 5 months. It's all right. Yes. The first 5 months. Done that, right? So what did you do? 1 to 5, isn't it? And that's just that about that. Okay. So you just do months, then 1 to 5. So this prints the first 5 months in the abbreviated format. Please, are we together? Can we continue? All right. Where am I? It's okay. All right. So now we have cases, rainfall. So let's take, for instance, now you want to find the total annual cases, because this one is like, for what we have here now are monthly malaria cases and the corresponding rainfall data. Please, are we following? Please, are we there? What we have here, we have the month January to December, isn't it? All right. So now what we have just done here is that instead of you creating the vector yourself by saying C open bracket January, February, March, April, there is a built-in function that can do that for you. Are we there? And that's just what you have just done here. Then now we have also created the cases of malaria, monthly malaria cases for that 12 months. So it's like January we have 320 cases, February we have 280 cases, and all of that up to December we have 290 cases. Are we following? Then the corresponding rainfall, we have the first one, we have 12 millimeters precipitation depth. We have 18 up to 15 in December. Are we together? So it's like you have here the cases of malaria and the corresponding monthly rainfall. So now, possibly you want to get the total annual cases. What are you going to do? You find the sum, isn't it? Right? So this sum, as you can see here, sum is a keyword in R, a key function in R. So it accepts the variable name to which you have assigned that particular object. You have assigned a vector to cases, and in that vector you have list of numbers, isn't it? You have vector of numbers. So when you now say sum cases, it sum all the cases from January to December and give you the output. And that's why you are seeing here total annual cases equals to 6,910. Do we get that? What we have here is sum of all the cases. So let's say, for instance, we created cases of malaria, isn't it? For 5 states the other time, isn't it? So let's say, for instance, we want to get the total sum, the sum of the cases. What do? We have sum equals to, what do we save it with? Cases malaria. Yeah, so we have cases underscore malaria. So this hit here. So if I run this, I have 70,318. And I'm telling you now that this sum is a function, and what it does is that it sums all the elements in that vector. Don't forget that cases malaria 3 is a vector. isn't it? Vector of malaria cases. So by saying sum of the vector, it adds all the entries in that vector to give us the total of 70,318. And like I told you, I can cite something like cat, total malaria cases. So I have some. So if I run this, you have total malaria cases equals to, in fact, you can even, instead of this column, you can put equals to, you have total malaria cases equals to 70,318. Are we on the same page now? Are we on the same page? What page are you? Are you trying to find the sum? So this one is sum of entries in a vector. Do we get that now? So, yesterday we were just doing 3 plus, isn't it? But now we have created a vector where we have entries of number, n entries of number, and you want to sum all the elements together. All right. So you just use the keyword sum, and then you put in the particular object. Don't forget that your variable name represents that object. It's just like in mathematics when you say x is equals to 3, isn't it? When I say x, what do I mean? What do I mean? If I say x is equal to 3 and I say x, what does that mean? 3. So the same thing. Your variable name serves the same role. Okay? You heard that? All right. Um, so let's say, for instance, maybe we want to find the mean. The mean. No, the mean will be you find the sum and divide by total number of entries, isn't it? So what do? You just come here. I can say cat. So maybe let me say find the mean. So I do cat mean equals to, just going to do mean. Are we there? Cases underscore, right? Then I have this. And with that, I have found the mean, because mean is a keyword to find the arithmetic mean, right? Are we there? Can I continue? Even though the time is up. All right. Then you can also round it and all of that. Okay. You can also round it. Okay. So now, all right. Okay. So just, you can find correlation. You can find which marks. Please, are we together? Yeah, you can find which marks. So now, what these which marks represent? So now, let's look at what is here. Please, are we following? I want to explain it to you line by line, that you know what each of them represent. First of all, which marks takes in the argument, which is a variable name, which is the object, and what is asking you is, what is the corresponding number, the corresponding index number of the maximum cases? Are we there? Please, are we following? You know, within that cases of malaria, we have the maximum cases. They are already raising hands for me, oh, that I should stop. Do what? Is it bigger now? Do we like the way it is now? It's okay. All right. So now, like I said, this which marks cases, all right, is telling us that what is the index number of the maximum cases within that vector. Are we following now? That's what that is asking us first of all. All right. So let's take it one after the other. Let's see the way it works. For instance, now if I say which dot marks, all right, cases underscore these, do you see what it brings out? What's the answer? We have 3. It's telling us that the index number of the maximum cases is 3. And if we go back to where we have, let me just run our cases, malaria for 2023. If you look at it now, the first, second, third, fourth, fifth cases, right? And if you look at the third case, it happens to be the maximum, isn't it? Isn't it? So now, that is what the which marks, that is what it represents. That is the way it works. All right. But don't forget that we use the braces for indexing to get the element whose index is that given number, isn't it? Let's now take, for instance, that I want to get the particular state. All right. I want to get the particular state that has the maximum number of cases. Are we following? Oh, these people are not following. You are not responding. Are we following? So now, let's now, okay, maybe I should please do something. Please just give me, so that you can see what I'm saying. All right. So see what I'm saying now. Okay, sorry, let me use right. See what I'm saying. Are we together? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here now we have the cases. Okay. Then we have the states. Are we seeing that? So in this state now we have state 1, we have state 2, state 3, state 4, and state 5. Isn't it? And then we have the case 1, case 2, case 3, we have case 4, and then case 5. Let's see it that way. So now what we are now saying is this. We have used weak marks to know the index number of the maximum cases, isn't it? So now we want to know the state. All right? The state that corresponds to that. You agree with me now that what we have here is 1-to-1. State 1 corresponds to case 1, isn't it? State 2 corresponds to case 2. State 3 to case 3. State 4, and like that, isn't it? So now, if you come back here, we have said the answer is, we have seen that the answer is 3, isn't it? Now, to now know the state, I'm going to do ng state. Look at it now. I'm going to put in this into here, and if I should run this, it's going to give me that state, which is Ondo. Are we following it? Let me explain. What have I done here? I use the which marks to get the index, isn't it? By the time I put the index in ng state, what will it output? It's the name of the state. Remember the other time I said, how do we get the first, the second, fourth, and fifth state? We did ng c into 2, 4, and 5, isn't it? To get the first three states, we did ng state 1, column 3, isn't it? Right? So now with the head of which marks, we're able to know the particular index number for the maximum cases. So since we already know the index number with the head of which marks, if I put it into the brace of ng state, it should give me the state. And that is the logic behind what we've just done here. Are we following? Please, do we get that? What is inside here now? Look at this one here. Who can tell me? What does this give us? The index, isn't it? Which is 3. If I now put the index in ng state 3, for instance now, I know that the answer is 3. If I do ng state 3, what will it give me? Ondo. So it is like a lot of things are encompassed within that already. Are we there? I use because I don't know before, I use which marks to get it, isn't it? I put it to ng state. It gives me the states. Are we following now? So the same thing, if you want to get which mean, that is the minimum. If you want to get the minimum now, let's say instead of which marks, you do which mean, all right, of cases, malaria, 2023. Are we there? So now who can tell me what are we trying to get here now? The minimum. But what is it going to give us? Is it the minimum or the index of the minimum? Index of the minimum, right? So if I should run this now, I'm going to get the index of the minimum, which is 2, isn't it? Now, how do I get the state that corresponds to that? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do ng, right? State. All right. So I'll just put, sorry. I'll just put this within it. And that is what? Lagos. So it is like I'm doing 2 things at a time. I found the index that corresponds to the minimum, and I'm using that to get the what? To get the states. These are ways with which you write your code to get an output, because you can't be waiting. You first find which mean, you say 2, you come back and put 2. Oh yeah, what is the ng state? You don't. Please, are you following what I'm saying now? So that's why you also need to understand the code. You need to understand the flow, the logic behind it. So that's why I'm taking pain to explain each of these for us. Please, are we together now? Can I continue? Yeah, but it's like my time is up. Maybe in few minutes I'll be rounding up. So then we can find correlation cases and rainfall just like we have in this place. All right. All right. So now I would like us to use practically example in this place because of the next thing we want to do, which has to do with creating data frame. And please, the main goal. Hello, are we together? Now, I want us to achieve something before we go today. And what I want us to be able to achieve is, 1, how you can create data frame, convert it to CSV, and how you can import that CSV back to your house scripts. Are we there? How to create data frame, turn it to CSV file, and also import back that CSV file. Are we together? Can we continue? All right. So now, data frame. We have 3 vectors already, month, cases, and rainfall, at least from this material, that all describe the same 12-month period. Working with separate vectors quickly becomes unwieldy. The natural step is to gather them into a data frame. That, you will see that we have vectors and we've been working with them separately, isn't it? But now I want to just put them together. All right, we want to put them together. So we are going to have them in rows and column. Are we there? We want to have them as some just like something that look like this now. We want to put them to be something like this, as you can see. And here, what we have here now, we have here we have the row, which is row 1. Here we have the row 2. Are we following? Here we have the row 3. Are we there? So the horizontal is the row, while the vertical, which is these, and these are the columns. Please, are we together now? All right. Um, okay. All right. So a data frame in R is R's workout for tabular data. Each column is a named vector and each row is one observation. Please, are we there? So think of it as R version of an Excel spreadsheet. We know Excel spreadsheet, isn't it? So just think of data frame in that light. Just think of data frame in that light. Except that every column must have the same length and a consistent data type. Please, are we together? If it is numeric, it must all be numeric. Character or character. Integer or integer. Are we there? Okay, so now we can use this keyword data frame, which is a function, data frame, to assemble named vectors into a table. Column names on the left of the sign of equality become the variable names you use later. So before we go to factor, set, seed, and all of that, let's just quickly walk through. Maybe we'll continue from here, maybe in the next class. But just like I said, that's the goal I have to achieve today. You create a data frame, you save it as CSV, and you also import that CSV. Are we ready to go? Are we ready to go? All right. So now, how do you create your first data frame? Permit me to drag this down. Right. So let me say create data frame. So let me say first DF, meaning first data frame. So you do that by saying data.frame. Are we together? Are we there? So data.frame, we have cases equals to cases underscore malaria, then followed by state equals to ng states. All right. So if I run this now, I'm just going to save. So I've created that is already added to my environment. Please, are we on the same page? So what you have just done here now is, so you have used these cases represent the column name of this particular column. The cases here, each of what you are creating here now is each of these represent a column. Each of these represent a column. So this is the first column name. This is the second column name. You have cases, you have states. In fact, if you want to know the column names within a data frame, you can just type names and enter the particular data frame, which I said first DF. So this is going to give you the column names in your data frame. I hope we are together. Please, are we here? It's just what we already have. We are still making use of. All right. So we have created the column names, cases, states. All right. And I said to know the column names within any data frame, you can just say names first underscore df, because my first df, which is first data frame, that's my data frame. Is that one taken now? All right. So now, if you want to see maybe first few elements, just or first few rows rather, in this particular data frame, just like I told you, it is now in tabular form. You use add. If I say add first df, it's going to give me